and gentlemen, to what could potentially be the last game here in San Jose for the Intel Extreme Masters in 2015. I know that sounds a little grim, but let's be honest, it is 2-0 and Origin was playing very well.
It could potentially be the beginning of the reverse sweep for Counter Logic Gaming here, okay?
It could.
The North American LCS is no stranger to reverse sweeps.
This isn't C9,
Teams
okay?
called CLG are no strangers to reverse sweeps, being up 2-0 in the finals, and then the other three going the other way. So, you know, it's anyone's game here. Yeah, Origin's the heavy favorite.
I mean, to some extent, EU is no stranger to being
we can put it that way
in the
too.
Finals, and therefore Origin could get reverse swept.
When
the hope is alive.
Region.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we look at the picks and bans.
Origin can be really nice, get us out of here early. You know.
Oh, I see where your passion lies, Crepo. It's going home and sleeping. I see how it
Hold on. Real quick, though, I got to point out, though, that no matter what happens here, Europe will have only won 5 games here in IEM San Jose, whereas North America has won at least 6 so far. So really the real winners are North America.
The stats speak for themselves.
The most wins at IEM San Jose go to North America.
I like it.
They have a German mid laner. That's the German efficiency kicking in right there. You know, less wins to get more advantage overall.
Okay, I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you can't trust stats. But here we are with the picks and bans in game number 3. We've already seen all the bans, and Origin's still making sure that Darshan doesn't get a little too crazy up in that top lane.
Jinx ban, too. I think that's just a hate ban. It's like, ha! You don't get to play
At least beat us with something else now.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, he hasn't even played it, has he? No.
And I love if they pick, Origin, they're like, oh, you guys like to pick Kindred and Elise to choke the jungle? Okay.
I think this is like a very obvious and easy Gragas Trista later down the lineup here for CLG. They're the 2 knockback champions. It's going to be, oh no, wow, he actually was released in. That is interesting. I wasn't expecting that one, but Smithy wanted to bring out the Lee Sin. I mean, still, again, very good against Kindred, has the kickback, actually has his own follow-up damage. QRQ is like a guaranteed kill. But he was so good at Gragas earlier, it's surprising.
I think Elise is just really good into Lee Sin, though. It's so easy to just cocoon him when he's queuing in, and it's just...
Spiderlings can block Qs as well.
Yep, and you can just repel also. Like, I'm not really down with that pick. I would still would like to see the Gragas. I mean, granted, he's played it almost every single game, but I wasn't too impressed with the Lee Sin the last time he played it.
I like what Amazing did last game, though. Like, where he went behind the mid lane tower, you know, he's actually being pretty creative in his gank paths. And the synergy across the board, you know, with that Elise pick for Origin is just fantastic. They steal away the Kindred too. Niels is perfectly fine playing. Now the casters may call it Kalista a couple of times as that happens, but
they look the same. And the best
I don't even recognize it, dude. I looked at the screen and I was like, okay, yeah, Kalista. That's weird animations. What skin is that?
You know, they do kind of look. If you're not really looking carefully, it can happen. But overall, Origin's still going for, you know, pretty standard. After Kindred, they're like, okay, well, we can just work around Kindred. Still going for something.
They're going to save the top lane pick, the counter pick as well. I like that a lot too. Power of Evil's been amazing on Orianna. So
defensive Orianna, he played it in the past too. Like, it fits in perfectly with what his role is within this Origin squad. They don't need the fancy stuff from him. They didn't just.
Sometimes it works though. His casting was great, so it's cool that he can play multiple styles.
Right.
But you're right. They're defaulting to him being a control mage and relying more on everyone else.
I mean, and to some extent, I wonder if they're like, okay, we've really picked on Hui quite a bit. We can have that defensive. He's probably also a little bit on tilt. He doesn't have that stage experience.
Maybe.
At this point, if we want to secure this game, let's focus on their strongest player so far, Darshan. Make sure we get that counter pick, shut him down. So what does CLG pick then for Darshan to?
It's going to be Fiora probably.
Yeah.
All right.
Comfortable on Riven. That didn't
Riven's
go
available.
awesomely. Yeah. Fiora is a good blind pick. Also, I think is better than Fiora, Fiora better than Riven against Malphite. You can repost a lot of those skills, and you actually have true damage that can cut through all the armor stacking.
Yeah, I like Fiora more because Riven just gets too countered by Alistar. Like, it's so easy. Like, at least repost can, if you repost a headbutt or something, like, you can still stay at the same spot. But like, if you just get knocked back out of the fight, you walk back in, Alistar smashes to the floor, fly in the air.
Whoa. Well, it's a hover for now.
Really?
Yeah, it is just over. We've got lots of time.
That would be styling though, if Solas like
style
whips out the Vladimir to win this game.
Well, that's just really AB heavy too. I mean, not like Origin's really had problems with that. They've picked AB heavy teams all over the place and just rocked face with it.
I mean, he did play it. To be fair, it was against Malphite in the top lane, which was a great matchup for him. But he did play it in recent history, Worlds, and won the game with it. So this is a good champion for Soaz. Matchup-wise, considering it, I mean, he can get away from Fiora, right? He can prevent the ulti from doing anything and has plenty of poke. But
I mean, Malphite could be.
There's a world of champions he can play.
Yeah, if he goes Malphite again, the problem here is that the Tahm Kench kind of nullifies that whole setup. Like, he can just stop the part too. You know, if you don't dodge the Malphite ulti, he will just eat your ally anyways, and then. Follow-up Orianna ulti will be very rough to land.
Okay, it's going to be that locked in. So the Vladimir.
I think it works in the matchup, honestly. I think it does. You have a lot of tools. Fiora has to be in melee range to deal damage, and then Vlad presses EQ and you lose 150 health.
Yep.
at all times, and you have no way around
I
it.
have a question. So I haven't seen this play out, so I don't know. But if Vladimir puts Hemoplague and the enemy team is in Kindred's ult, so they can't die, so they're at that threshold, but they keep taking hits, when they leave, does the buff still take effect? Because they did not take damage.
Yeah, well, so the buff just deals damage and is an amp. It's not the same as Death Mark, where like Death Mark
that's
takes
true.
damage
Yeah,
and
you're
you
right.
take,
So it
and
wouldn't
then
have
buffs.
any effect. You're
So
right.
it actually like is
some
an even
extent
bigger benefit over with a Kindred ally. He's like, yeah, as long as you
Just
time
put it in afterwards.
And I think Hemoplague's 4 seconds actually. So if you like Kindred ult Hemoplague, everyone's just gonna die unless they stay in for the healing, and then even so you can probably kill them.
Yep. I like the Vladimir pick a lot. I think it's going to work out for him really good.
If it doesn't get camped though, Vladimir from behind is so annoying to play though. Fiora can definitely snowball that matchup if he gets slightly in the lead.
Yeah.
But if Soaz gets some help from Amazing, gets to like level 7, level 9 pretty comfortably, then I don't know, then it's going to get rough.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, could be the last game where CLG really needs to rally together if they want to extend this final. Let's find out with Doa, D-Man, and Monty.
Thank you very much, Chobro. So, what do we think coming into this one? The troll pool is there, and I hate playing against Vlad myself. I got a feeling that Darshan is going to have that feeling as well.
Yeah, and Soaz always has this Vladimir to fall back on. You know, it's not mechanically a very complex champion, so you don't really need to practice on it so much, but he always will pull it out in weird situations, and you have to consider it whenever you play against him, whether it was on Fnatic or now on Origin. So it's an interesting pick, but yeah, it's a lot of denial against Darshan, and he can't really use that challenge, the Grandmaster's challenge, the ultimate, onto the Vladimir and have it be very effective.
Yeah. If you challenge Vlad, he's just like, nope, gonna go underground for a while.
Also, riposte is pretty much useless against Vlad too. You're not going to be turning around any CC. As soon as he hits level 9, that Q is going to be on such a short cooldown that it doesn't really matter if you riposte one transfusion. So it's probably going to be a very annoying matchup. So it's also starting Doran's shield. So if he ends up in this 1v1, should be feeling quite safe.
But this turnaround in mid, obviously there was a lot of pressure. We're talking about Huhi throughout the analyst desk, pretty much not holding back on Huhi. No, he has gone with Azir this time around. Oh, hello, amazing. This is going to be a little close towards him. He should be able to duck, get away.
Nice dodge.
Just a little sidestep, that's all it took.
Really nice attempt there by Xmith. He actually smited one of the spiderlings to try and actually land that Q and get some damage down. Didn't work out, but clever little play right off the bat here.
Certainly doesn't hurt.
There was no counter vision either gained from that, so CLG have themselves a good bit of vision control early on, see exactly what lanes are going to be where. Will they want to try and swap away from this one? We saw obviously Kindred for Niels earlier on in the second game against TSM it was, I believe.
Surprises me this tournament just how versatile Kindred has become. I mean, we've seen her play in 3 different positions. We could see a bit of cheese here. No? Uh-oh. All right, they're going to try to catch Mithy, or they're going to try to catch Niels as well. Could go in. Niels going to turn around for some auto attacks onto Darshan right away.
Yeah, and that's the thing here, too, is that we do see, of course, Niels taking a little bit of damage right there. Will be delayed in getting to lane, but first camp, extremely delayed for CLG, as Darshan and Smithy only just finishing it up now. Meanwhile, blue buff nearly done on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, that's a big early advantage. Mithy going to get the ward down to see exactly where they're going. Amazing will pick himself up that blue buff. Here they go, though. Mithy very, very close. That was a way too deep to try and get that ward down. Mithy just going to follow him. He's trying to delay them as much as he can, and it may well work, but he may lose his life from it. That's a pulverize. That will just keep him alive. He has, of course, got that flash available in the exhaust if he needs it. Just trying to delay that Gromp as long as possible.
Yeah, and that's all it takes. I mean, what they want is to go ahead and get into the enemy jungle right now, try and take that red buff, give Amazing enough time to recall, then try and get a 3 buff going right here. And there's a TP. Soaz knows where everybody is on the opposite side of the jungle thanks to the ward trip. So again, it's going to be a lot of free early farm from Soaz.
I wonder if they're setting up for possibly, you know, the red invade coming out. Remember, this is TSM, did the exact same thing, went for that red invade, and Origin came out very much on top. I wonder if they're going to be trying to set up for some sort of play here. We'll see whether CLG do continue. Oh no, both top laners are going to back away. Not going to fall for it after a move. Sees them go. Oh, stops Smithy.
Yeah, right at the last second, canceling that recall. And it's making it as difficult for him as possible. And then spamming laugh.
Mid lane is going to get yanked on.
Action there. Who he pushed away
He's
right
in enemy
now.
territory.
Yeah, Smithy right there to support, though.
TP.
Teleport coming in. Origin may be in a bit of trouble here. Power of Evil force a flash right away. Rapace slows down Power of Evil again, but he's going to get back under turret. Origin trying something there. And you can't blame them for picking on Huhi. You know, the guy's been having a hard time. The more you pick on him, the more you might be able to kind of get in his head.
This has bought time for the rest of the team to get around again. Another Cocoon not catching on, but Niels and Mithy were in the jungle. They'd made that return trip. So while this is all happening, Soaz had himself a little free time. Darshan has finally teleported back down towards that bottom lane. So we will see the duo lanes going up against each other up in the top and the solos down the bottom.
Yeah, and okay, so Power of Evil did have to blow his flash in that engagement, but you know what? CLG didn't get anything out of the enemy jungle, and Xmithy is starting to fall pretty far behind here. Amazing, gonna get his second red buff of the game right now. He's already up a level, doubling the CS, so they've done a very good job of shutting down Xmithy in the early game. And we'll see if Xmithy can really bounce back here. He's kind of a non-factor.
There we go. Knock up onto Stixay as he has a rocket jump to freedom. Aframu there to just kind of body block a bit of damage, and he'll take some from Niels on his way out. So Niels and Mithy being pretty aggressive here in this 2v2.
And they know that this Amazing is going to be up and around here somewhere. They now see him, of course, with that ward, but they are up against it very early on here. CLG, they tried to push the pace, they tried to create their own advantages, but it hasn't really worked out for them. Origin kind of read that situation. Amazing now going to be walking, face planting straight towards Afromu and Mithy, but they can't really turn anything around, and more importantly, Amazing actually feeling confident enough to go straight in there. Afromu just wiggling his tongue at them.
Yeah, getting some turret damage down. No Power of Evil and Huhi trading pretty heavily in this mid lane.
Now Power of Evil taking a lot of damage from those Sand Soldiers.
You can see, I mean, he's Hui's got the Negatron cloak, so he's just looking to ignore a lot of that damage from Orianna. Oh, double.
Oh boy.
Another pause. It's been a day of pauses.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's
not
happy
had
little
much
pause.
luck. Yeah, it just says happy little pauses, keeping you guys going.
That's right.
I think they just want us to fill. I think that's all it
It's
is.
your world. You can put those pauses anywhere. Little pause right at the beginning of Game 3 of the finals. It's fine. It belongs wherever you put it.
Maybe it'll be 15 minutes long this time.
Oh, right.
We'll have to find some other things to talk about.
That's right. Find some little forest critters. They're just doing their thing in the forest.
I think there's a lot of forest critters right there on the screen. Yeah, you guys, thanks for sticking around throughout these pauses. We have had a few of them today. You what, mate? And hello to that guy's mom.
That's
She's
right.
probably not watching.
Oh, maybe she is. She was waiting for that sign. Now she's so proud of her son. I mean, IEM San Jose. I know I'm proud of him. Yep. Well, guys, it's about this time. 3 orange. That's good. I like it. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it happens. It seems likely, doesn't it, though?
Yeah, especially with how things have gone this game. Origin bought a little bit of time for this Vladimir because he is so weak in the early game. But again, once you max his Q, and then you can start putting points into the Tides of Blood, then you really you get the wave clear there. And so Fiora's not going to really be able to do much to him. And falling behind in CS already, so as getting closer and closer to that Hex Tech Revolver, so he has that sustain. And it's just kind of a constant annoyance with the Vladimir in that lane. And it's yet another thing that they're using to shut down Darshan's split pushing, because Vlad in the later stages of the game could just walk up to a wave, Tides of Blood, get his health right back, and then just wander off somewhere else on the map.
It's true.
Well, I mean, okay, so CLG, they need to obviously not have this problem to begin with, the pause, but they need to make use of this double teleport that they've got this time around. Like, they've had it a couple of times, it hasn't really worked out too much, but this time they have that extra advantage. Origin do not have the double teleport. Obviously, Power of Evil went with the Flash Ignite once again. But they also need to make sure that Mithy doesn't just get in their faces and zone them out. We saw how good he was on Alistair in Game 1, and obviously earlier on in the day against TSM. And Power of Evil, with that combo, has been landing on point. So we need to see some of those fancy ganks. Now, CLG have it in them, the ability, obviously with the Tahm Kenshin there, to basically make a 5-man pylon somewhere. I'd like to see them get that coordination working this time around, because it hasn't been really prevalent throughout the last 2 matches.
No, it hasn't, and it's going to be hard here too because, like you're saying, Mithy has been on point, and the combination of Alistar and Orion is extremely strong, especially if there's a Hemoplague that goes down to magnify a lot of that damage. So there's a high chance that it becomes another pretty big wombo combo situation for Origin in this final match. And CLG they haven't had the same level of team fighting. They've been a little bit behind when it comes to Origin's abilities to make plays on the map. And so they kind of have to hope that things turn around for them.
All right, then. You know, if this pause goes any longer, we're going to have to give Froggen a call, see what's up. I bet he knows.
He's still looking for a team, I think. And, I'm just saying who he's not been playing the greatest.
just saying, CLG, just saying.
Yeah, CLG, you know, they've got the freedom to get another import player in there, you know.
It's true, yeah.
Just stick Froggen right in.
CLG Froggen, I feel like I've seen that somewhere before, though.
Yeah, it's a bit old hat, isn't it?
Needs something new. And that trophy is just barely off-center on the pedestal and is bugging the heck out of me. Need that fixed.
Put it on mildly infuriating, you'll be fine.
Pretty much.
So 2-0, it is a best of 5. Hopefully will be resumed soon. Don't exactly know what the problem is. I do see a couple of RRs, so maybe they're ready to go. I don't know.
Hopefully.
Don't seem to be resuming. We can see it on our screens. You guys at home can't.
He's trying to read everybody's phone there.
I think he had a Nintendo DS on the go. I think he was probably playing something.
That's cool. Yeah. Sounds fun. All right. So we've been talking a little bit about Darshan and his name change. You are not a lizard.
You know what, just to derail away from that one,
yeah,
it always intrigues me what people do when you just simply put a camera on them. Now, I've been to a lot of concerts.
You've seen
I've seen things.
So I'll tell you a story from college. So
oh boy.
Hey,
oh wow. We're going way back. Wait, this is when he had long hair, by the way. Everybody's seen that picture.
Okay.
So one time, one of my friends who would sometimes find very interesting things on campus came back to my suite with a police search lamp that was a 1 million
things.
Who knows, really? Anyway, It was 1 million candle power. And it was about, I don't know, the lens on it was about a foot in diameter, and it was just this portable giant flashlight, basically. So what we did with it was, this is in reference to what you're saying, when we put a camera on people.
Okay.
We'd wait until the middle of the night, when people were like walking home alone, we would stick on the 4th floor of a building and just shine it on them.
Spotlight.
As a spotlight, and they would get so confused, and there were a variety of reactions. Some people would just start performing and dancing and everything like that. Some people would get extraordinarily angry for whatever reason. So we just kept doing this and moving like room to room to room, so security could never find us because they had to come outside
to see where it was.
To count the windows to see where it was, and we would just shine it on security, and then when they went back in the building, just to go to a different room.
Then you and Aaron made a show about it to judge them.
Day in the life of Monte Cristo. Who knew what he'd be like back at college?
It's the same principle, though.
Yeah, we were just teasing you guys there.
Well, what else happened in college, Monty?
There were a lot of. That's one of the more appropriate stories.
Okay,
broadcast
we'll leave
friendly.
it at that. All right,
Interesting times.
that works. I just played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons. Basically it.
I believe you.
My first character was a bard, though, so see, it like pointed towards my support main life in League of Legends, I guess.
It looks like it is going to be Huhi that's actually got the pause. I can see that referee is with him. And okay, we're ready to go. We're getting resumed, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Intel Extreme Masters here in San Jose. The final underway. Counter Logic game are now 2-0 down. And they need all the help they can get from the crowd, the home crowd here in San Jose against Origin, the Europeans who honestly have looked pretty dominating today.
Oh, Darshan Duking it out with Soaz here in the bot lane. There's
dear.
the pool, and here comes Amazing and Mithy. X-Mithy was right there. He had to back away. There's Headbutt. There's a pulverizer. Are they going to go through with the dive? They will, and First Blood goes to Amazing. They may get more. They will get more. A double kill for Amazing to start things off.
So well juggled. 9 hit points, Amazing. Walks away with that. Very well juggled. Mithy just stuck around longer. Well, I wouldn't say longer than he needed. It was just about long enough because Amazing managed to live. But that was a 2 for 0 and really a very easy one.
And also in the mid lane at the same time, Power of Evil used Ignite and managed to blow Huhi's flash during that engagement. So I think he was just trying to all in him so Huhi couldn't teleport. But as we take a look at the start of this one here, Soaz just coming in with the full HP, level 5 to level 5 so far. And Amazing already coming around the side, gets tied up by Xmithy, but Xmithy has to flash as soon as he sees Mithy, and another multi-man pull. Darshan actually managed to riposte that and turn the stun around on the Mithy, but it's just not enough.
So close there.
Oh, man.
And Soaz getting the retarget, so ended up being a pretty good dive.
Having a Mithy and X-Mithy in the same game is kind of confusing. Can we just call the other one former Mithy?
Former Mithy and current Mithy.
Formerly known as.
Formerly known as
Yeah.
Mithy. He's a symbol. Next season.
Yeah, this is the battle for the name, right?
That's right. We need to have them 1v1 to decide it.
You know what? Don't give Mithy Alistair, because he is proving once again to be a beast on this champion. Blue buff going across the Power of Evil. So gifted across, at least assuming the spiders didn't steal it away. But hello, X-Mithy, speaking of the name, looking to make a play on the Mithy in the top lane.
See, X-Mithy just makes him sound so much more like mysterious and cool, right? You put an X in something if you want to make it cool.
And he went with the IE over the Y, very edgy.
Oh, yeah. Surprised you didn't have like a 1 and a 4 in there, or like throwing a random Sephiroth. Teleport coming in.
Soaz is in a little bit of trouble here. Yeah, that was a counterplay and it worked well. Huhi's teleport though, not going to catch too much. Soaz is going to have to try and get away from this one. Already used the pull, so that's not cooldown. I feel he's going to go down. No, Huhi's Sun Soldiers not going to get followed on. Respecting Amazing. Remember, he does have very good burst with that spider, so again, no Soaz sticking around. This is ballsy play. That's because Power of Evil's joined the party.
Yeah, he's been walking down here now. Soaz just trying to push this wave. They're trying to bottle him up, keep him under there. You have Shockwave at the ready. And remember, Amazing has 2 kills. Very strong.
There it is. Nice ult pushing Soaz back in, but he just pulls away again. Mithy getting very low. Big Shockwave comes in. Soaz with a kill onto Huhi. And now Darshan in a lot of trouble. Issues the challenge, but the repel is going to keep Amazing safe for the moment, and Origin picks up another 2 kills with nothing in response from CLG.
You know, he showed some amazing grace there.
He really did.
Wow. Sweet sound, wasn't it?
Well, he's now at 100% kill contribution too, and it's really this advantage in the jungle that they got early on Amazing that is snowballing this game. He got a very fast Sheen so that they had more burst, continually diving under that bottom side, and using the combination of repel and pool to juggle the turret aggro very nicely. And CLG's just sort of lining up to die in that bottom side at this point. And it all started with that pretty poor TP from Huhi coming in and not really doing a whole lot and actually setting up the kill where sticking around long enough that Power of Evil could get the zone on the backside and then take them both out under the turret.
Yeah, and then, like you mentioned, it's that red play from long ago that Amazing went for the invade. Mithy was just tying them up long enough to delay them. And we saw the same with TSM. TSM went full aggressive, got caught out, lost themselves 3 deaths. There was no deaths this time around, but a lot was burned. And obviously it gave Amazing that big advantage in the jungle. And this is just all just tumbled on from there. 4-0 Origin. Once again, looking confident and comfortable coming in here. And it's Darshan they've been focused on down this bottom lane.
Well, of course. And so is now 2 levels up. I mean, Will of the Ancients is done. You're not pushing this Vladimir out. He is going to win the split push war against Fiora at this stage. Darshan's still just even looking for a Hex Drinker right now. Item complete for Soaz. So Power of Evil's is going to waltz his way over to this red buff. They have the pressure. They're still pushing in on this bottom side. And it's Xmithy and Darshan falling behind. And you'll notice Origin just repeatedly attacking that side of the map where they know their edge is.
Yep. Turret goes down in favor of CLG. They will grab their first one of the game a little bit later. And Darshan could be in trouble. There's a Cocoon. Are they going to dive this? Not quite. They're going to be satisfied with a decent amount of damage.
Just that harassment, right? Darshan just doesn't have any healing potions right now. Soaz has all the spell vamp he could want. And now Xmithie just has to come down into the lane and try and deal with this Vladimir.
I mean, it's just babysitting duty, but he can't compete with this at the moment. This is a great little pairing. Amazing coming in. He can tank this out, leave with little skittering spiders to deal with that. And they're just taking half the damage off that tier 2 turret. 11 minutes into the game.
I mean, he has such an early rune glaive that that's an option.
Whoa, there we go. What a play from Hui, but Power of Evil, I guess he just walks out. Meanwhile, Aphromoo comes in to save his mid laner, going to throw him right back onto Mythy, who's trying to get away. I don't think he's going to, though. Pops that ultimate. He is tanky. Here comes Stixxay to try to finish him off. They might get him eventually. Meanwhile, big shockwave from Power of Evil as he tries to escape the fight, but this is all CLG as another kill comes in. Starting to make a bit of a comeback here, but Neil's pushing that top lane.
Yeah, but they are going to lose the turret in the top side. They may lose the turret in the bottom side, too. Though it looks like just the TP will be coming through, so as needs to wave clear this. So, yeah, they get a couple of kills out of it, but CLG kind of predictably falling back to the mid lane again. Their 5-man grouping has been a hallmark of their play in the kind of early mid-game of this tournament, and Origin sort of falls for it a little bit, but Darshan really needed some way to get back into this game. He has half the CS of Soaz right now. He's now down 3 levels. This is a pretty thorough beating.
Let's watch that fight again. It was a cool looking move from Hui anyway.
Well, it's very effective actually. You know, gets him underneath the turret, but doesn't actually deal quite enough damage. But Aphromoo there to save him right away, and a good TP coming in from CLG. You can see Mythy maybe a little bit late on the ult pop right there. Does come in, try and headbutt Stixxay out of the way, but he does fall ultimately, and now there's a dragon in Origin's hands.
Yep, got to take that one without any interference at all from CLG. And continuing to have a very solid start in this game.
Well, Darshan getting back into this is going to be very difficult, and Xmithie, he's gone for that warrior enchant, but he's simply so far behind right now.
Completed tier 2 boots for Soaz and the Will of the Ancients. He's way out of this one.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to be a big difference. We'll see how much Soaz can pay. I mean, it has worked so far for him. No problem. Look at that. You can see 1,500 gold, 1,600 gold differential between the two.
And that's at 13 minutes into this game. That is a massive lead for just 13 minutes. The gold difference 900 as well between Amazing and Xmithie. So you can see where the lead has started to develop for the most part. And the dual lanes, the AD and support pairings about equal, but that's not where the action has been happening on the map.
So what is Darshan going to do? Because he knows he can't compete with Soaz in lane. He can't go near Soaz until he's got that turret. And even then, it's still dangerous because, you know, Vladimir can die. Oh, wow.
Oh, man. Hui taken out by Power of Evil. Just a little duel under turret there. All right, let's take an instant replay very instantly to see what happened. Looks pretty straight up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Straight shockwave, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to get shockwave. Power of Evil going to start tanking it. Hui tries to do something, but it's again that ignite coming through that makes a large difference. And also Power of Evil a level up and knowing his limits very well on this Rod of Ages Orianna.
As I was about to say, Soaz, with that troll pull, he has the ability to just straight up 1v1 Darshan at this tower. So and you can see 2-level differential, make that a 3-level differential. This is how you deal with Soaz, though. Get multiple targets on him. Now, can he keep them alive long enough? It doesn't look like Amazing's going to join him. Is he going to flash away? He is. Darshan's going to follow this. Is he going to be able to? Soaz has to take the long route around, but he's got the support of Amazing. There's the flash. The grand challenge is not going to catch on towards him. The parry doesn't even catch on towards him either. Done. Soaz, the pull's coming back up. He gets the life steal. There's the pull again. He might get Darshan from this one, but no. The consume comes out. He will finally get taken down, but again, it's the loss of another turret down the bottom lane.
And they're going to get cut off here. You can see 3 members of CLG, Power of Evil, coming in from behind.
That's right. Throws the ball in. Aphromoo taking a bit of damage. There's the exhaust on the Power of Evil. Darshan still in a decent spot. Aphromoo just eats Orianna. Power of Evil may have bitten off a bit more than he can chew, or the opposite. Darshan comes in to help Hui pick up that one. Origin still may find something. Double kill already for Amazing before he finally goes down. Double kill in response for Hui. He may get a triple here if Xmithie gives it to him. Mythy on the run with that ultimate. Still pretty tanky. There's another one for CLG, though. Well, all right.
Good reaction from CLG. They had the Azir turret up to sort of cover their escape and force a turret dive situation. As soon as that Azir turret goes up, I think if you're Origin, you have to back off from that. You're not going to get the angle that you wanted. And so CLG tenaciously hanging in there. They've the gold lead really hasn't gotten any bigger for Origin right now. And Darshan, though, he's still hurting for levels, for experience, and he's still hurting for that CS. It's more than double right now, and he's fallen to about 2K gold in the hole compared to Soaz.
Hurting a lot for our items, too. I mean, no big items yet done for Darshan, just that Hex Drinker. Meanwhile, Soaz has a Rod of Ages on top of the Will of Ancients and boots.
Yeah, he's going to go immediately for his Zhonya's Hourglass too, and this is such a core item on Vladimir because it allows you have basically 2 ways to get your cooldowns back up at that point. When you head into a fight, you Hemoplague, then you can get in there with the Tides of Blood, and then after that, you've got the pool to reset your cooldowns very safely, and then you have the Zhonya's Hourglass as well to quickly get them back up without taking any damage.
Fui in trouble, knocks away Mithy as he tries to come in. Smithy comes in with the safeguard just in time, though. That looked like it almost was a repeat of that previous kill we saw for Power of Evil in the mid lane.
Yeah, and Ignite just coming off cooldown as well for Power of Evil. If it had held on for a couple of seconds, but then again, if Mithy would have caught him, it would have been curtains for them. And that tower is definitely the focus for Origin. They've taken down the bottom lane, so they just want to keep on pushing. Soaz is just going to keep split pushing all day long, while Power of Evil gets a little chase here. Amazing actually get a focus on. That's a good little catch there. Kicked in towards the team, but has that big shield built up from Power of Evil and will be able to walk away.
Yep. Gets that command protect, and he'll be able to be protected long enough to survive that attempt by CLG to take out the jungler.
They really just have no answer to this Vladimir, though, and you can see that Darshan in the mid lane right now, he's not really doing a whole lot, but
there we go. Yeah.
The ultimate intro. You gonna headbutt this guy? Nope.
Well, they just want to get this last little bit of damage down onto the turret, and they're losing a lot of CS to the tier 2s thanks to this Vladimir, so there's not really a lot of catching up. I mean, we're only 18 minutes into this game, and Soaz is 2 creeps from crossing the Flame Horizon and having that 100 CS differential. That might be like a new Flame Horizon record, because that sub 20 minutes, hard to do that, but he's been... Origin has kind of decoded CLG this tournament, it seems, and
there it is.
By shutting down Darshan, they've
101 CS ahead.
They've kind of paved the way for the rest of the North American LCS. It's like, this is how you beat CLG, guys. If you want to play them for the next 20 matches, this is what you got to do.
They are going to need definitely something new when next season rolls around, but if they don't have anything by then there's other problems on the team.
Yeah, there's some big problems, definitely.
Yeah.
But this is the final, and at the moment, Darshan once again struggling to contain Origin. And you could see what they tried while he hasn't been getting CS. There it is, that 100 CS threshold that you were talking about. He's kind of been doing other things. He's been trying to get the kills. That's how he's trying to get rolling, but it's just not working out for them. They're just so close, but yet so far. And Origin have been managing to duck and weave every attempt they've gone for, but still close. 6-7 in gold and kills, but the goal differential 4,000 at just the 20-minute mark is still pretty big.
Yeah, and what's been happening to Origin, so why Power of Evil is playing so aggressively against this Azir and trying to chunk him out, kind of dropping the ultimate and ignite on cooldown, is because when they chunk out Huhi, what it does is it forces somebody to go to the mid lane to wave clear. And they would really like that person to not be Darshan, but he can't survive in a 1v1, or especially if even Amazing's there, he will just get dove. So they kind of have to have him go into the mid lane, which puts Stixxay in the side lane in order to actually stop Vladimir safely from range. And that results in sort of just farming 2 lanes at once. So there really hasn't been an opportunity for Darshan to even get CS, because Origin, with the snowball they created in the early game, have now managed to make it so they can only ever play in 2 lanes.
Yeah, amazing. Going for some pretty powerful items right now. Looks like he might even be going for a Rylai's at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Why not just go for the damage?
Yeah, no kidding. And Niels thinks he may have found something here. Gets slowed down, but puts a few autos into Afromu. Now, Origin did get their second dragon, too. So yet another thing that CLG has to worry about in this game.
Where is Soaz going? Keeping my eye on him, keeping my eye on Darshan. Now, Darshan has vision of him. I think he may have just get spotted by that ward. He might have been on max range vid. But now Soaz with that Zhonya's Hourglass as well. Moro Malmortius completed by Darshan. So he's got a little counter, the tiniest of shields that he's going to get to keep himself alive against Soaz, who has played very well throughout today.
Yeah.
I mean, really throughout this whole tournament, I mean, for me, he really
played
is.
today.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Throughout his whole tournament, that is very true.
Yes.
He has done very good things in terms of carrying this team, and you can see that it's really helped out, especially in this particular matchup.
So what does CLG do here? I mean, how do they start to turn this one around?
That is the ultimate question.
Exactly. I mean, they got to do something, and I feel like they have to do it fairly soon.
Oh, they can't have fewer in this lane, so it's still 3 levels in advance. And there's just, it's such a difficult situation. He's gone up to about 2,500 gold over his opponent. Taking a look right there. Yikes.
Fiora doesn't exactly have the quickest lane clear we've ever seen either.
No, and they could just keep controlling the dragon this way. They could pretty much do whatever they want. They're getting so much information in terms of vision. I do think that Soaz it might behoove him to upgrade his trinket right now and try and get a few more wards in there.
Might help.
Yeah, make yourself useful for the team rather than individual play. We'll see if it works out. Mithy does get caught by the kick from Smithy, but certainly won't be choosing to follow through on that one. While this is all happening, the AD carriers have been quietly going about their business, farming away. Neil's yet to be involved in any skirmish whatsoever. Just been farming up for himself.
They may go for a Baron here.
No, they're just trying to bait it so that the split push can happen.
They're starting it. About halfway, they're doing it very quickly. Here we go. Smithy comes in, and he gets taken out by Afromu. Taken out in a good way, I mean. Got saved. They're still going for the Baron. Wow, the Emperor's Divide comes in. A minion has killed Amazing in the meanwhile. Where did that happen?
He got killed by Baron.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, Baron caught onto it, but the thing is, Soaz already sent Darshan back to the tower once already. He's not quite going to get his turret down. Did TP back in there. Darshan's going to try and go for it. I'm not sure this is a fight he wants. He hasn't really got the support he needs either. Soaz dancing with him there.
Well, he's against the wall, so he couldn't hit that last vital spot. That was smart for Darshan. Smart for Soaz, rather. Oh, getting ganged up on now. The entire team almost coming to handle Soaz. I don't think he's getting out of this one.
They're going for Baron from this one. I don't know whether they're going to be able to get there in time. The whole team was pulled towards it, but we saw how quick they were starting it off. I don't think they're going to be quite reacting enough to take it down. It's very risky.
Yeah, Origin's a ways away from Baron.
Yeah, they can bait it, though, and they've already forced a TP out of Huhi into the mid lane just out of pure paranoia over this objective. So it's a nice little win for them right there. And they used the Abyssal Voyage from Tahm Kench to get into the bottom lane to make that play in the first place. So they pretty much had to blow a TP without any kind of vision whatsoever.
See?
Tried to grab that Scuttle Crab. Wasn't quite able to get it.
That was very risky because there was no one anywhere near him to back him up if he had have gone in there, because he would have been sitting on the AD carrier's face and really wouldn't have worked out well for him, I feel. Power of Evil taking himself that blue buff. I haven't really seen a great deal of Dragon play throughout this one. That's going to be coming up in 1.5 minutes. Very much been an uncontested fight for Origin this time around. It was CLG that were pretty much dominating it for the first 2 rounds.
Power of Evil almost has his Zonias done too, and once Origin has 2 Zonias on their team, you'd think it'd be pretty tough for CLG to kill anybody consistently.
Yeah, go time. They still haven't taken this middle turret down. That's something they were trying to focus on a long time ago. I feel that's something Origin might try and switch their focus on now. Just remove a big portion of that vision that CLG are gaining from it. They're just going to push on through. Looks like they will try and collapse in, but CLG is still here in numbers.
Yep, they're going to go ahead and push Amazing back. He's going to try to escape. Big shockwave comes in. No follow-up yet for Origin. Meanwhile, Grand Challenge issued. Darshan trying to make something happen. Gets taken down. Smithy just kicks Niels away, who nearly dies to the Shisana bomb, but not quite. Meanwhile, Smithy's safeguarding to safety.
Soaz is coming around the side there. Stixay, I thought he was in a great position to catch on towards him. He's taking the tower down, actually, instead. Choosing to focus on that. It is an objective they've been looking to get for a long time, and it will finally fall. Origin investing everything into it. They will get it eventually. There we go. Just take a bit of damage in the meantime.
10 seconds until Dragon comes up, too. So Origin, with maybe an opportunity as a CLG, needs to back off to go and take their third without much trouble.
Yeah, they just need to keep a push until Amazing can actually get back into position right now. He did have to recall, but Darshan coming around with a TP in the back of that fight, and he was pretty quickly singled out in this engagement. I mean, Hui also sort of wasted his ultimate onto Amazing right here. I mean, that looks flashy and all, but it's an Elise. It has repel.
Form,
yeah, it has repel, and that was a nice job of destroying the shockwave by Aframu, but Darshan just way out of position right there. And then trying to finish off that kill. Q misses. Otherwise, that may have actually been a kill onto Niels.
Should have been.
But I mean, realistically, that was a fight without Soaz. He's the most fed member of Origin right now.
And also for Darshan, yes, he singled out the AD carry, but he needs to realize how far behind that AD carry he is now, right? He's been building the fact that he's been up against the Vladimir. He hasn't got that Hydra. He hasn't got that big, crazy amount of damage that you would normally have on Fiora. So he comes around to challenge him, and then Niels is just like, oh, all right, I'll 1v1 you. I've not had any fights in this game. I've got myself a lot of damage built up. And it looked easy for him.
Yeah, well, he built that Mob Malmortius, so that's useful pretty much only in that lane against Vladimir. And if you're trying to 1v1 the AD carry, not going to give you very much to help you with that. They're going to try and poke out on this Baron right now. Scuttle Crab going over to Origin. They've got a couple pink wards right there helping them. 3 pink wards, in fact. Good vision control here from Origin coming through. And again, Soaz just consistently pushing that bottom side.
Now, the big difference is here, teleport available for Soaz, but not for Darshan. So if they were trying to force something, Darshan's going to have to run to try and join them. So that may be something they're going to look towards. Soaz actually lingering in the bush right now in that bottom lane. But, 1v1 between the AD carries, and Stixay comes out on top.
Yeah, not using the ult right there from Niels, so not really even having time, just a very quick execute. And if you get the right crits with that Infinity Edge early on, you could definitely make that work, but it's not doing much to actually stop the pressure right now. It's a nice little win, but amazing just making sure that the waves stay pushed. And hello, TP, straight out of that one. Classic Soaz.
So Soaz was stood in the bush at the bottom for a long period of time, but he was on top of a ward, so was caught out. But this is the AD carry battle.
Aha, so Stixay gets to jump on Niels, and like you said, those crits, man.
Yeah, the crits and also just getting the drop on him in the minion line, so he got a bit of minion damage that we did see Niels Kindred tanking too. So nice little trick play there from Stixay. That's the kind of stuff they need to get back into this game. But as soon as the Abyssal Voyage is seen on the bottom side of the map by Soaz, he immediately just decides to TP. Of course, Fiora, no hard crowd control unless you throw it at her first and get it reposted. So pretty easy to make it out.
Oh, they're going to try and push once again. Power of Evil. This is Origin trying to get some more deep ward coverage towards that top half of the jungle, but CLG very much not allowing them, and that's kind of why people have been getting caught out here. Origin, while clearly have that 5,000 gold advantage and a big advantage in terms of fights at the moment, not really taking a big advantage of it, not being able to. They have to be a little worrisome. We did see obviously Stixay the damage he has. Now if they were to get a nice little team fight where he got a little bit of free time to start laying that damage down, a la double lift earlier on today, it's going to be a worry for Origin.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Origin just going for this Baron. CLG not around to really contest this at the moment.
Yeah,
so they should get it, but they may have to fight afterwards. Amazing a bit low. They're going to turn on next Smithy for the moment. Smithy pushed away. CLG just backing into that mid lane. Looks like Origin's going to get away with that one.
Yeah, and not following up there. Origin has over-pursued CLG at times so far in this series, so I really like the fact that just go back, play the clean League of Legends, take out the minions and just clear those waves so you can actually push forward safely with all 5 members with the Baron buff this time.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Tom Kench is right there with Huhi. Niels has to run.
Yeah, they're just trying to make plays with Tom Kench ultimates right now. Niels does have the speed boost, though, from the Ghost Blade, so able to get out of there before anything too bad happens. And Origin just trying to spend the gold they've accrued, clear out the waves, and then they'll try and make some sort of split push here. Kindred's a very low-range AD carry, so it is going to be challenging for them to actually use 5 people to siege. But Soaz, again, just what a monster he is this game. He's now 4 levels up, level 17 to 13 on this Fiora, and just getting scarier and scarier by the minute, having completed that Void Staff.
Yeah, Darshan just completed that Black Cleaver, so we'll have a bit of damage next time they come in that fight, but this middle turret is a serious problem, and it doesn't look like it's going to last too long as CLG lose yet another Origin. Of course, with that Baron buff, keeping that pressure going. They've only got 1 turret themselves so far, and that's really starting to become a serious problem as Origin just take control of the whole map. CLG forced out of their own jungle.
Yeah, with this Baron buff, it's even harder for CLG to really do anything about. Origin right now, and Origin just slowly strangling the life out of CLG.
Yeah, Soaz doesn't have TP, so he's trying to go in the mid lane right now so he can be somewhat close to his team. But at the same time, this turret in the bottom side is slowly recovering hit points, but it's still sub 1,000, protecting that bottom inhib. And so maybe might be a little bit better to go down there, especially since Darshan is actually picking up a lot of minions out of this wave that Soaz had previously stacked. But they just want to do everything by the book, get all the inner turrets out before they start working their way onto the inhibitors.
And here comes Origin for that tier 2 in mid lane. Extremely low already, and Amazing should be able to take it out. He will.
Oh,
meanwhile,
wow.
Soaz in the mid lane untouched.
Left alone, and he's just taking this down. You can see Darshan's finally getting across there, but that's how it's taking a lot of damage
Nice
to
kick.
kick. Power of Evil launched into the team. The exhaust goes down, but he gets out safety, and now Smithy's the one that's going to have to run. He gets caught, little poke in the backside while this is happening. The two AD carries having their own little duel, but Origin pushing through the middle.
That is it, and that's going to give Origin the open door to move into the base of CLG. There's one inhibitor turret down. There's another inhibitor turret down, and they're going to go right onto the inhibitors after that. Mid down, top will be down soon, and man, talk about making use of a Baron buff. They have gotten about as much as you can expect out of it.
Yeah, absolutely huge Baron power play right there. Kills, 4 towers, 2 inhibitors, very nicely done, and that's probably going to lead to a pretty easy closure to this game. They can back off right now, sweep out the jungle, and go ahead and take that next dragon, putting them at 4 dragons on this game, and all but assured of a 3-0 victory.
Well, 10k gold ahead. Only 1 turret for CLG here in game 3. Pretty one-sided victory, especially here in game 3, and Origin's just going to take that 4th dragon.
And the story of the game is just continued. It's just focus Darshan, focus Huhi, put them back on a little bit of tilt maybe, put Darshan on the back foot, stop him doing what he did so well against Jin Air earlier on today, and to an extent against Unicorns of Love the previous day. But this has just been very well controlled by Origin. Just methodical, I think, is the best way to explain it.
Yeah, I'd agree. Very methodical. I mean, the Origin that played so well at Worlds, here they are again. They don't really look like they've missed a beat.
Well, but the thing is, I mean, at Worlds, it was somewhat sloppier, I feel. I feel Origin have been very much in control this time around. They still clearly had a lot of problems, far from convincing. They seem to have a couple of lapses of judgment, which perhaps against a stronger team would have cost them dearly. But as it is, CLG unable to punish them when they do occasionally wander out of position.
Yeah, and really it's just been Origin being greedy, right? They make some questionable plays, but they don't make them from behind. They've been firmly in control of this best of 5 right from the get-go. So overcommitting to certain things, but otherwise it's been looking pretty clean. They've got 1 less than half HP inhibitor turret remaining, and they're just methodically closing this one out.
Yeah. The Power of Evil and Mithy pushing this bot lane. The rest of the team is going to join. Looks like Soaz may be coming from the top there.
Yeah, just forcing those super minions in there. Stixay just trying to deal with the top lane ones and the middle, and that's just opened up that final inhibitor turret to go down. Hui trying to make a play here, does manage to get devoured. Aphromoo just pulling him to safety, but that's left Darshan exposed. He's going to get caught out. Soaz going diving in, pops that Zhonya's early, but that's left the inhibitor completely to Origin's own devices. They'll take that down. There's the double super minions, and now the Nexus turrets may well fall.
Yeah, I think they will. So many super minions in the base right now, so many minions in general. Looks like the Origin is going to play it safe. They could try to push to close out the game, but they didn't get any kills. Might as well play it safe, especially with Baron up in a minute.
Everyone from CLG went back and healed already, so don't take that risk. Like you're saying, 1 more minute until the Baron. You have all 3 inhibitors down now. So many super minions just flooding into the base. Take the next Baron. That's how you want to close. Make sure that you win IEM San Jose. Don't let CLG come back into this one and just kind of sneak a reverse sweep in there.
I mean, it's unlikely, but we have seen comebacks from all 3 inhibitors down in the past.
Yes.
It's rare, but it does happen.
Yeah, some crazy stuff has happened, actually. And Origin would have witnessed Fnatic doing exactly that at Worlds. Was incredible matches. But as it is, Origin very much in control. Power of Evil's debut has been a success. Not been completely glittering, but it has been a success. So I was just going to teleport away. This is A big problem. They got nothing to interrupt him. Almost completed the grand challenge.
He did complete it.
Yeah,
He got all 4 vitals. The last one came through right as the teleport did. So actually getting that, but not quite enough. And I've seen that one before, so as just vanishing in plain sight, really.
Yep.
To the other side of the map.
It's like every few minutes you have a get out of bad position free card, you know?
And to be fair to Soaz, like, he did have issues with that at the World Championship in terms of getting caught, and so but without the hard CC, he has a good sense of when to use that teleport.
Oh, Baron looks like it's going to get taken down, and it will be dropped with ECLG not quite able to close the gap and get in there. It is going to be Afrin, they will get caught. He's punted into the river, and that will be where he drowns.
Oh, hi. Darshan coming in. Not able to really do much. Instead, just losing all of his health. Double kill now for Amazing. Shockwave pulls in Huhi. That's going to be another kill. And you got to think that's going to be the game, and that's going to be the tournament in favor of Origin as they try to finish off CLG.
Yeah, Mithy and Stixay, the only 2 remaining here. Ex-Mithy, I should say, not the other Mithy, but look how many super minions are in that base.
Oh, boy.
There they all get Baron.
They don't even need to come.
This is just rampage. The Winians will take it for Origin. And it was a clean victory overall. 3-0 Origin. Just didn't drop a single map today. 2-0 over TSM, 2-0 over CLG. And North America really couldn't stand up to the European might of Origin. And they will take the Intel Extreme Masters here in San Jose. And finally, we see a smile on Soaz's face. Hallelujah, praise the Lord.
What a dominating performance from him in this last game. Ends up with 125 more CS here at the end of the game. Hit that 100 CS marker in about 18 minutes. So he certainly had an exceptional performance in this particular tournament.
Yeah, fantastic stuff overall. Commiserations to Counter Logic Gaming, of course. Everybody gonna shake hands. And what do we make of the old new CLG there? The old new CLG is a strange way of phrasing it.
Well, I mean, it was a solid start, honestly. There's a lot to build on there, and they've certainly got some time, and they've got some new patches to work with, so we'll see what they look like in 2016, right?
Yeah, I think they're dependent very much on their macro game because their carries not really turning in the best performance today, but they've got a long time to work on that.
Well, fantastic stuff. Origin, ladies and gentlemen, the champions of Intel Extreme Masters San Jose.
And there we have it. Origin are your champions for San Jose 2015 here at the Intel Extreme Masters. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's kind of what most people expected. Yeah. I mean, sure, some people thought maybe LGD Engineer would perform a little better. But that was also a chance thing. Origin on paper had the sturdiest lineup and the most recent, strongest performances.
I'd be happy if I was CLG, to be honest. I mean, they have the whole new roster.
Yeah.
Granted, they have a little bit more practice time than some of the other teams, but I think I'd be pretty happy with the results just making it to the finals.
I saw some tweet online somewhere who somebody said, yeah, you know, every team here at IEM can be either happy, you know, because
I know who it is.
Yeah, they have the potential, or their mistakes are easily identifiable, or they know what work is ahead of them, or like in case of Origin, they just did really well, except LGD. LGD can just start crying.
You can just continue to be sad here. Yeah, I mean, and then this has just kind of been a very fun tournament. As you're mentioning, every team has something to look forward to. TSM, hey, you know, in 4 days, pretty damn good. We're going to see them in January. I mean, basically, it was just like, it's you know, sweeps everywhere, honestly. It's the cleanest tournament ever, right? Everything's swept up, nothing left on the ground. Just, you know, North America got to win 6 games, so much better than Worlds. We got
You're
a
gonna hang on
semifinals,
to
we got a
that, aren't
finals.
you?
I mean, look.
I mean, hey, I'm an American too. Like, I
I get you.
but-
I mean, I can make some excuses as well. I mean, you know, we didn't see Cloud9 or, you know, some of these like more put together North American teams to like, you know, really see if we can stand up to Origin. But no, I mean, Origin, I mean, truly an amazing team.
Yeah.
Truly ridiculously good players and good shot calling. And they didn't miss a beat with Power People coming in. That was like the one small question. He's playing amazingly by himself, and the team is still gelling.
Yeah, I mean, really credit where credit is due, and we do have a quick chance to speak with one of the winners on Origin with Sean on the stage.
Thank you so much, Chobra. I am joined by Mithy and the team. First of all, round of applause. Now, Mithy, you just went ahead and, you know, won IEM San Jose 2015, booked yourself into Katowice. How do you feel?
I feel all right.
Very good, sir. Very good. Now, you had a great performance at Worlds, and you absolutely dominated this weekend. What's next? What can people expect from you and the team in 2016?
I mean, Spring Split is next, right? So I think we're gonna use that split to try and get a decent points for the split, and mostly figure everything out in terms of how we work, what we should communicate, how we should communicate, and just expand on champion pools a bit more even. And I don't know, we will use Spring Split to prepare for Summer Split, and then we're planning on getting the same or better showing at Worlds. That's my goal.
Absolutely well spoken. Ladies and gentlemen, please, one more time, put your hands together for our champions, Origin!
Congratulations indeed, and everyone's still cheering. I mean, I like we said, we saw this coming, and they deserved it. And like he said, still they're putting their head in the game. They do have a new player. They want to make sure that next year they don't just stop at the semifinals. They don't just say they're one of the best teams in Europe. They want to secure that, and I think we're seeing that hope for sure.
I just like that they have a long-term growth plan, because it's really important that you plan out your entire season. One, to avoid burnout on some of these older veteran players. They know what it's all about, and then just, yeah, as Mithy said, okay, our key goals in Spring Split are this, and this. Once we nail that down, we can start expanding on that, and really we look to show up in summer. And I think that's a good approach to have, because Origin right now, they have some leeway above other teams, so they can just use that to, you know, fine-tune and improve themselves, while other European teams right now are still looking for their identity.
True. And like you guys said, I mean, of course we give our nod to CLG, and sure, that tweet, somewhat humorous, but I think it's true. With TSM, all right, well, we saw the individual skill, what everyone was excited about. That is there, so that's proven.
And they got revenge over LGD, right?
And
like,
they did.
There were teams that were objectively pretty bad at this tournament, and they lost 0-2 in the first round. TSM showing, hey, look, actually decent. Oh, no, we lost to Origin, who got top 4 at Worlds. Oh, no, those games were, like, in some of the cases, as close to the CLG ones. Like, if they didn't start out 3-0 or 0-3 in the games themselves, like, that actually could have been a hell of a good series.
Yep.
And same with Jinner Green Wings. I mean, maybe not much has changed because they seem to already know that they were always missing that 1%. But just seeing how they pan out against others. This was their first time showing up at an international tournament, and all that coming together for Origin to take that trophy home. So overall, I think, you know, it was a fun new look at a lot of these rosters coming in and what we can expect from them in 2016. What'd you think, Saint?
I think everything pretty much went how I thought it would go. Outside of CLG, they actually performed above my expectations. Granted, I think they had the easier part of the bracket, but I'm pretty surprised that they actually made it to the finals, and it's good for them, man.
Yeah. Impressive play from everyone, for sure.
For me, I think CLG had better macro than I expected, but I don't know, man. Hui, just like
Hui actually played as expected to me. That's actually the player I remember from casting NACS on Fusion. I was shocked when I heard he was on CLG. I mean, I don't want to like put a big damper on him, but like this.
I mean, you got
the CLG team is about growth. And he's got a lot of growing to do if he wants to play on that level.
And I
he
think
left a lot of room for growth.
Right. I mean, you know, and to be fair again for him, you say the last thing you remember from him is there, but at the same time, that you also kept mentioning that was a while ago.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they grow. But again, Origin, congratulations. You take home that trophy. You secure that ticket to Katowice for the Intel Extreme Masters World Champions. For all of you guys watching this weekend, all of you guys who showed up here in San Jose, thank you so much for making this a fun weekend for all of us League of Legends fans. And if you missed any of it, don't forget, you can go back, check all of it on Plays.tv, plus more like the POV VODs. Also, over at ESL.gg/Amazon IEM, those sales are still going. So if you want to grab yourself a couple presents or bring something home for Thanksgiving to your family, you can definitely check those out. For us, that's it for this weekend. We'll see you at the next Intel Extreme Masters stop. Have a nice night.